Here's verse 21 of the 6th chapter of the Gospel of John. We're in the midst of the discussion of Jesus approaching the disciples on the sea. He's fed the 5,000 earlier and sent them off on their way. And of course, they're caught in a storm, and they are terrified at first when they see Jesus coming to them, walking on the water. But he gives them the assurance that is of really such significance that it really is tantamount to a claim of deity, ego eimi, I am. And they, reassured by his presence, then welcome him onto the boat. So we have athelon. This is from thelo, which means I am willing, or I want, or I wish. It has that idea. This is the third person plural, imperfect, active indicative. So they were willing, un, therefore postpositive, indeclinable. Therefore they were willing, labain. They were willing would normally take the infinitive as we find it here. This is the second aorist infinitive. So they were willing to receive or to take, auton, him. This is the accusative masculine, singular pronoun. They were willing to take him, eis, into, takes the accusative, to, ploion, into the boat. Some have wondered if this suggests they didn't actually receive him into the boat, but they were only willing to do so. But the natural sense of the text is that Jesus was actually taken into the boat, and then we hear kai, eutheos, and immediately, this adverb, indeclinable, commonly used in the Gospel of Mark, of course, but John also uses it occasionally, as we find here, and immediately, ageneto. This is the third person singular, aorist middle form indicative from genomai, I become. So this is essentially that immediately it was the case, or it became the case, to ploion. This is the word for boat, the article, neuter noun. The boat, epi, the preposition takes the genitive, epi tes geis, upon the shore, or upon the earth, or upon the land. The word geis normally means land. Upon the land, eis, into, hein. This is the relative pronoun. Eis takes the accusative, so this is the relative pronoun in the feminine accusative, going along with geis, into which, hupagon. This is from hupago, which has to do with being led away or departing or going to a certain place. This is the third person singular imperfect active indicative to which they were going. And so we have them immediately on the shore. Some have thought this is another miracle in which immediately, of course, they were from the midst of the sea right off to the shore. It took place in the wink of an eye, something like that. The word eutheos doesn't necessarily demand that. It simply suggests that it took place in all fairly rapidly. In other words, there was no more impairment, that they probably got there by normal and natural means, but that conversation has been had from time to time. In any event, of course, what we learn from this is that they welcomed Jesus onto the boat. Implied but not stated, as the storm was immediately calmed. In other accounts of this same incident, we hear that there was immediately a calm. We don't hear of Peter walking on the water toward Jesus. That is only covered in another account of this. But we do hear that as a result of this, they then arrive at the shore, to the place of safety. Jesus came to them in the place of peril and transported them to the place of safety. And I suppose from the point of view of a lesson in Christian understanding and Christian faith, that's probably the thing that we should be making note of as we look at this story.